Alright, here I am at the Reid Road railroad crossing in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Now this railroad crossing right here is another rather neat and classic crossing setup owned by the Lake State Railway Saginaw subdivision, which was formerly owned by CSX, because as you go north of Wixom is where Lake State Railway takes over the operations, and anything south of that is still CSX, but this is a Lake State Rail Company south of like Flint, let's say. So yeah, I decided to come check out this crossing today because we do have a Southbound on the way, and I've been wanting to check out this crossing, tour it, and also get it in action. So I guess while I'm here, why not tour it while I wait? So hopefully the train does not sneak up on me. So I guess with that said, I'll explain some things as I go on. So with that said, let's get to it. So for the first signal, this has a WRS base with the federal signal back clamp, as you can see right here. And here's the emergency information, and the dot tag and the dot number is 232348G. And for the mast lights, or I would say the only lights, so for the lights on this one, this has two pairs of Rayco 8-inch lights, all incandescent with the classic rounded back light heads. And these are all sitting on a GRS light bracket, newer generation. And for the gate mechanism, which is pretty interesting since it's completely separate from the mast, this has a GRS Type D gate mechanism with the WRS rebranding, sitting on a WRS base for its own mast, with the hose clamped on base plate. And this gate features some NEG incandescent gate lights and no wind guard due to how short it is. I believe these are incandescent. And for a bell, this has a General Signals Type 1 electronic bell. I believe this is a Type 1. And I think it's set on default pitch as well. So yeah, that right there was the first signal. Really cool setup how it's separated from the mast. So yeah, I guess with that said, let's go on and move on to the second signal. Now this is a wide grade. It has 3 tracks, but only one of them is used, I believe. So yeah, I guess with that said, here is the second signal, which is somewhat similar to the first. So yeah, for this one also has a WRS base, but it's the more classic clamp-on design per se. And here's the emergency information once again. And for the lights, this has 1.5 pairs of Rayco 8-inch lights and 1 Satran 8-inch light, all incandescent. And all of these are sitting on a Rayco light bracket with a cover that's busted open, as you can see. And these are kind of cool. These are the classic Satran light head style Rayco lights with the backs that are painted black, or the heads that are painted black. And as you can see, this mast, features an old C&O dot tag with the with a different dot number. Actually, no, it's the same dot number. I thought that was a C and not a G. And for a gate mechanism, this has another WRS Type D gate mechanism, or GRS Type D with the WRS rebranding, sitting on a WRS base for its own mast. And the gate features some NEG LED gate lights, no wind guard. So this gate looks newer. As you can see, Lake State installed it recently, it looks like. And for a bell, this has an NEG electronic bell, most likely installed by CSX sometime in the mid to late 2010s. So yeah, that was all there is to show for the equipment here for Reid Road. Here's the relay case, sitting at milepost 40.6. Old classic one too, big one. And I guess with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the track view. Down there is heading south, which is the cooler track view, as you can see. And this track view features like a pair of old twin mast searchlight signals. These aren't very common anymore. You don't really see these. And you can see this goes down to 1 track eventually when you head south, and this is heading towards the Grand Blanc Road railroad crossing, you can see right there. And down there is heading north right towards a curve, which is kind of inconvenient for the train that I'm looking for. And this heads towards a bridge on Saginaw Road, and eventually, or Saginaw Street, and eventually towards more crossings in the Flint and Burton area, such as Hill Road, Maple Street, etc., etc. So yeah, I guess all that said, here is the tour for one of the Grand Blanc crossings owned by the Lake State Saginaw sub. So that was the Reid Road, or Church Street railroad crossing here in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Oh yeah, there is one more thing I forgot to mention. So this track right here that's cut off, the third track, is actually an old storage yard that I believe that they only use somewhat often. And maybe this is affiliated with the old abandoned branch line that used to come off this line. They used to go to an old paper mill, but was demolished back in like the 2010s, or actually mid 2000s, I think it was. But you can see it ends right up there, right at that twin mast, and there's also a crossover track. So I believe, so I'm pretty much certain that this crossing used to see a lot more action in the past. You can see a CSX mailbox right there. Heck was that in the water? But yeah. So with that said, that's the Reid Road railroad crossing. Pretty neat stuff. Hopefully I'll get this in action very soon. So I guess all that said, Over and out.